Friends, let us learn about sodium today. Sodium is one of the most plentiful minerals in the body. Approximately 120 grams is present in an adult body. About one third of the total sodium content of the body is present in the inorganic portion of the skeleton. The remainder of the body's sodium is in the extracellular fluid, where potassium is present mostly in the intracellular fluid, whereas sodium is present in the extracellular fluid. And this sodium is also present in plasma and in nerve and also in muscle tissue. Sodium constitutes about 93% of the cations in the body, making it by far the most abundant member of this family. Coming to the dietary sources of sodium, cereals are poor sources of sodium containing 4 to 18 milligrams per 100 grams, and some of the cereal products like bread, biscuits, and cornflakes are rich in the sources as sodium chloride is added during the processing. Pulses are moderate sources of sodium containing about 29 to 95 milligrams per 100 grams. Nuts and oilseeds are also poor to moderate sources containing 6 to 41 milligrams per 100 grams. Salted peanuts and cashew nuts are rich sources as more amount of sodium is added during their preparation. Coming to milk and milk products, cow's milk is a good source of sodium containing 50 milligrams per 100 ml, and 1 liter of milk will supply about 500 milligrams. Salted butter and processed cheese are also rich sources of sodium because excess sodium is added during their processing. Egg, meat, and fish have moderate sources of sodium, but once they are subjected to curing process, cured pork and salted fish are very rich sources of sodium because during processing lots of salt and sodium chloride in the form of sodium chloride is being added. Vegetables are poor to fair sources of sodium. It contains only 4 to 71 milligrams per 100 grams. Fruits are still poorer than sources of vegetables, 1 to 3 milligrams per 100 grams. Coming to the important functions of sodium, sodium is a major component of the cations. As we discussed earlier, it is an important cation of the extracellular fluid and it exists in the body in association with anions like chloride, bicarbonate, phosphate, and lactate. It is largely associated with chloride and bicarbonate in regulation of acid-base equilibrium. It maintains the osmotic pressure of the body fluid and thus protects the body against excessive fluid loss. Sodium plays an important role in absorption of monosaccharides like glucose and galactose as well as amino acids from the small intestine. It maintains a normal water balance and distribution. Sodium is involved in initiating and maintaining the heartbeat. It also maintains the normal neuromuscular function and it functions in the permeability of the cell. So these are the main functions of sodium. Our daily requirements for sodium, mainly for adults, ranges from 5 to 15 grams in the temperate region. But in tropical countries, the intake is more. The person suffering from hypertension should not take more than 1 gram of sodium. The requirement of salt is 6 grams per day. Coming to deficiency of sodium. Deficiency of sodium leads to a condition called hyponatremia. Hyponatremia is low levels of sodium in the plasma. The main causes of hyponatremia are severe dehydration, decrease in blood volume, decrease in blood pressure, leading to finally circulatory failure. The clinical conditions causing hypernatremia are prolonged vomiting and diarrhea, resulting in excessive loss of digestive juices rich in sodium ion. Chronic renal disease with acidosis due to poor reabsorption of sodium in the tubules. Adrenocortical deficiency leads to Addison's disease, loss of weight due to loss of water. Also, the next condition mainly we are going to see is about hyponatremia. So before going into hyponatremia, sodium deficiencies are very rare, but there are exceptions during heavy sweating. In those who are engaged in heavy labor or strenuous physical exercise in hot environment for an extended period of time, they suffer from sodium deficiencies. Commercial sports drinks which replace sodium, glucose, and fluid may be useful to restore these losses. Although sweat is relatively low in sodium, drinking too much plain water during extended strenuous exercise can also dilute sodium concentration and exacerbate sodium deficiency complications. Hyponatremia can result in acid base imbalances and muscle cramping. Next, we'll see about the toxicity. Sodium toxicity is otherwise called as hypernatremia. In this condition, the plasma sodium ion content is higher than normal. Hypernatremia occurs due to hyperactivity of adrenal cortex as in Cushing's syndrome. Prolonged treatment with cortisone, ACTH, and sex hormones also will lead to hypernatremia. The symptoms of hypernatremia are increased retention of water in the body, increase in blood volume, and increase in blood pressure. Excessive sodium intake has been linked to hypertension in individuals who are salt sensitive. However, for most people with healthy kidneys and adequate water intake, the kidneys excrete excess sodium in the urine. The acute excessive intake of sodium chloride causes the accumulation of sodium in the blood, that is hypernatremia, and extracellular, and mainly it accumulates in the extracellular spaces. This sodium can pull water out of the cells into the extracellular spaces by osmosis, thereby causing problems like edema. Sodium toxicity symptoms are thirst, swelling, edema, that is high blood pressure. Then causes, as we discussed, it is due to excessive salt intake, and then dehydration and kidney dysfunction. Increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, and severe toxicity can even lead to brain damage and finally death. Thank you, friends, for your patience listening.